let's get into some of the winners and losers for this deal. And first winner I have to have is Chase Young. I mean, you go from the dysfunctional of dysfunctional organizations in Washington with no prospects in the immediate future, right? You've got Dallas in your division. You've got the Eagles in your division. There's nothing going on. Now you're Chase Young. You get to come to the 49ers, one of the contenders in the NFC. You're surrounded by talent on both sides of the football right before you go into a contract year because you're playing on your fifth-year option. Like, you are in a position to cash in if you're Chase Young.
That's true. That's true. On the other hand, so is Randy Gregory. So is Javon Hargrave. It seems like, if Chase Young just happens to be the key that unlocks everything, I'll be so surprised. It seems to me like the issue is Steve Wilks. Steve Wilks and this roster. There's something wrong. And if Chase Young can just fix everything, wow, I'll be surprised. But good luck. I just don't see adding another edge rusher all of a sudden fixes everything for Steve Wilks. But it does kind of feel like Kyle Shanahan's once again pointing the finger at the defense. Like, look, I'll get you another edge rusher. You can't figure it out, Steven, I'll get you another edge rusher. Whatever you need, man, I'll get you an abundance of talent. Hopefully you can figure it out. I can do it. Sure, my offense is only scoring 17 points a game, but that's, not my fault. I can figure this out. You need another edge rusher. It just feels like, again, pointing blame at the defense. And is this really going to fix things, or does Steve Wilks have bigger problems than a bookend to Nick Bosa? We'll see. I think he has bigger problems. It's nice that Nick Bosa might not get as much attention. Great. That's wonderful. We'll see what happens. If the ball comes out really quick, you can negate a pass rush with a run game and a quick passing game. You can do that all day. And teams are doing that to the 49ers. And Steve Wilks isn't countering. So just adding another pass rusher to that, I don't know, man. We'll see. It doesn't seem like that's the fix, but I'm not that smart.
It's a fair criticism for sure. And that's why I think Wilks falls into the winner and the loser category in this. Yeah. Because on the one hand, you could say, look, you've got another first-round draft pick on this defensive line who potentially could be a big boost for you. Great. Like, another good player for you to manage and deal with. But at the same time, like you just said, he's also in the loser category because it's like, all right, no more excuses. Like, now if the 49ers wanted to make a change at defensive coordinator, if it still wasn't working after you get Chase Young, I feel like no one's really going to criticize them if they wanted to do that.
Right. Yeah. Because you don't know the kind of conversations they're having privately. Maybe Kyle Shanahan has been really hard on Steve Wilks, and Steve Wilks has been defending himself. Like, look, I'm learning the system. Or Drake, you told me Drake Jackson was going to be this great player, and he's not. You traded for Randy Gregory. I mean, he's just Randy Gregory. Instead of running me out of town, why don't you get me a real defensive end? You said it was going to be Drake Jackson. It so isn't Drake Jackson. You were wrong about that. Fix that. And give me a chance with a real pass rush. Maybe that's what he said. So this could be the final. This could be the final shot for Steve Wilks. If they lose to the Jaguars and the pass rush isn't a factor, and Trevor Lawrence makes it look easy like Kirk Cousins and Joe Burrow just did, then that's that. But I still think it's kind of messed up to put it all on the defense when really, where they gave up 19 points to Cleveland, 22-3 to Minnesota. Like, the offense has been MIA. You lose Debo and Trent, and all of a sudden you can't do anything on offense. And the quarterback, who's supposed to be the real deal, just melts down repeatedly in the fourth quarter of tight games. What is that? And Kyle's like, no. It's the defense. Okay, I don't know about that.
Plenty of blame to go around in San Francisco right now, for sure. And by the way, you mentioned Drake Jackson. To me, he's in the loser category.
He's the loser. Drake Jackson, wow.
Getting outsnapped by Randy Gregory, who just joined the team. 2 straight weeks since Randy Gregory's been on the team, Drake Jackson's been outsnapped. Now they got Chase Young. Like, dude, they're telling you you're not it.
Can we go back to the Drake Jackson experience all offseason? Like, they really talked him up. Man, he lived in the weight room. He's been so much better. He's so much more mature. Week 1. Well, all offseason, they're like, oh, he intercepted a pass in training camp. That means he's good. Like, that's not rushing the quarterback. Then week 1, he sort of like walks into 3 sacks somehow, some way. They just fall into his lap, and everyone's like, man, this guy is the truth. Michael Parsons goes on his podcast and said, what about Drake Jackson? Never heard from him again. It's like he retired after week 1. Right. Don't know where I don't know. Anyway, sorry, Drake. Loser.
You're 100% true. He is. I mean, he's got an uphill battle to just get on the field now, but he's earned that for lack of a better phrase. Let's get to some super chats. Bill Kennedy says, Grant, Kyle was doing great when he was taking your advice. What happened? Also, happy birthday to your dad.
Thank you. I don't know. He doesn't really ever take my advice. I think we have to use the reverse psychology on Kyle most of the time, which is fun. And we're going to talk about that, like with the quarterback he drafted 2 years ago. He might have taken our advice, and I think he's trying to blame me in particular for him drafting Trey Lance, which I like. So I want to talk about that in a minute.
Okay, let's get to
It is my fault.
more of these super chats, and then we can discuss it. Chris says, Grant, me and your dad have the same birthday. Happy birthday, Chris. Not sure what sharing that info accomplishes, but it's better than spending money on crapping on Kyle. First of all, Chris, you know what it accomplislishes. You wanted a happy birthday. It's okay.
Happy birthday, Chris.
There you go.
How old are you now? 23, 24?
Are you
how old?
Are you a big birthday guy? Like, I like to make a big deal out of my birthday. I want everybody to know it's my birthday. I want to be treated super nice because it's my birthday. I'm a big birthday guy.
Me too, because I'm essentially like 14 years old still. I'm working on it, but like I'm just 14. And yeah, I want people to make a big deal about my birthday. But then I often like don't make a big deal about other people's birthdays because I'm a child. So I have to work on that. I like forget, but I'm doing better.
Are you doing anything for your dad?
I got him a present, and I'm going to go give it to him in a minute.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Matthew Sanders, we complain, but Washington is a real, actual dysfunctional losing culture. I only hope Wilkes has been put on notice because it's now or never. That's basically what we've been saying.
Yeah, pretty much. Sorry, Wilkes.
He
got set up for failure. I do feel bad for Wilkes. He never should have taken this job. If you ever get a job opportunity and they're like, look, we like you, but we actually don't like anything you've ever done. We want you to do this. Can you learn it? Like, say no. You're getting set up for failure. You're never going to do well.
It's a good point.
In anything.